We get that to work there for anybody ends up.
Is it working?
Supposedly.
Maybe I should put on a little makeup. Pretty pasty.
Nah, that's fine.
It's hard because you don't like, start talking if there's not. Ah!
There we go.
There we go.
Now we're starting to get folks in.
Ah.
Want to turn the volume down?
to
Hello,
fix
everyone.
my-
Welcome, all you crazy folks. We're trying to get this to work on the iPad, and
Yes.
it's been a evening of technical difficulties. Wasn't working so well on my my phone earlier, so we're doing iPad's version tonight. So just in addition to this set up here, so we don't have to keep holding it the whole time. Hold on. One day we'll figure it out. Hello, everyone.
No, to use the controller. We get the controller.
You need a controller right now?
It's on here right now.
It's your call.
We might anyway. We might later.
You might later.
Fine.
Marisha may start playing Fallout while we're talking here. I didn't realize concession stand was on. I'm sorry.
What's that?
That's the Wednesday night program on the stream.
Oh.
It's Hector's thing.
Oh, Hector's.
Can watch both.
Right.
Watch both. We'll just be hanging here for a little bit. They're probably going longer than we are. So, but yeah, happy Fallout week, everybody.
Happy Fallout Week!
We've
It's fun.
we just literally just got to Good Neighbor, whatever that is, right now.
Yes.
You found me in Fallout? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
No,
So
I don't know where I am.
Yet.
I don't know where I am, but we'll
No.
figure it out.
No.
No, we'll figure it
Yeah.
out. Pip-Boy edition. Yeah.
We have ours.
You wanna grab it real fast?
Yeah.
I'm not ruining nothing. It's all good. There we go. It's a little Pip-Boy edition. It's glowing lights of prettiness. It's cool. What? Someone likes your hair.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry everyone for
so
the
bad.
super long delay we had with the most recent episode. Apparently there was just a lot of technical difficulties involved on their uploading side, so there was a bit of a delay. But I guess thanks for your patience, everyone.
Apparently they were rendering issues.
You have a 5-hour Christmas episode, I guess. That
Yeah,
happens.
I think that's kind of what happened. I think it just took a lot longer to render out this time than what they were expecting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No haircut, just
No, it's getting longer. What are you talking about?
yeah, just needing a shower. Today's been a long day.
Yeah.
Did I bring home a box of Soylent? I didn't, but I already have some Soylent left over from the last time I did my my stint on it, and I'm thinking about picking it up again. So probably going to order the new stuff, since the stuff I have is a few editions older. It's pretty cool. I like
Can you
it.
just resub? Just turn your subscription back on?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, the Pip-Boy edition is pretty cool. It's for a Fallout fan, it's just a nice little collectible. It's pretty good design. It's plastic, definitely, with a foam interior, so it's not crazy awesome, metallic super quality, but for a collector's edition, you wouldn't expect it to be. But it's pretty cool. We were trying it out yesterday a little bit, and Marisha was playing, and I was helping heal stuff up.
Yeah, it kind of adds a cool co-op element to it. Cool for people who are watching.
Yeah.
So you're not just staring aimlessly at the screen. Not
Yeah.
that that's really a problem anyway.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And as a note, Soylent is it's good for portion control. It's also just good if you are really busy and you don't have time to stop and get healthy food all the time, and it's a nice alternative to stopping at a fast food place or somewhere where you're going to get a kind of unhealthy meal in the process. So, how much did the Pip-Boy cost? How much did that version? I don't even know how much it cost, because when it first went up on there you go, 120. When it first went up, I just bought it. I was like, I don't care. Did you purchase? What's your favorite food?
What's my favorite food?
That's a question.
That's a hard question.
don't know.
You know what your favorite food is?
For the longest time, I said like barbecue chicken pizza because I really like barbecue.
You do
chicken
like that.
pizza.
You do like that.
Yeah, it's good. That was for a really long time. I didn't say that. I don't know anymore.
That's okay.
It's hard. People go through phases, and there's so much food. It's hard to pick one favorite. Like
That's
one
true.
thing. Unless it's, Stand By Me.
There you
Pez.
go.
Cherry Pez.
That's all you need.
Cherry Pez.
Oh, hello. What's up, Gnome? I'm invading all your games? Good. No escape. She's creeping into them, too. It's kind of fun. The candy question is legend. This is after the last one?
Oh.
Your favorite candy?
It's okay, just pick one thing. It's done.
It's true. I've been enjoying, was it somebody sent us?
Smarties.
Smarties. We had a Smarties come in a package from a Critter Equipment, so we've been enjoying that throughout the week.
PAX South? I don't think so.
Not yet. I mean, we'd love to go to PAX South, but it really depends on if they have an event or something that would want to invite us to, which is nice. I don't think there's any specific plans at the moment, but we shall see. Good question.
The next Star Wars? As in the movie or the game? Because I'm kind of more excited for the game. Personally. For Battlefront.
Battlefront looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm really stoked for the film just because the trailers seem to be trying hard to make up for the 3 prequels, which just kind of left such an awful taste in my mouth. I've lost interest in Star Wars in general since then. So I don't know. I hope so. Next month we'll find out, right?
Should show some of the things I got for Christmas.
For Christmas, you want to do that?
Or get this D20 out of this candle because it's ready to go.
Get this D20 out of this candle. A phrase you won't hear very often.
Yeah, the Boonsy Arts candle.
San Diego Comic-Con tickets on sale tomorrow. Are we going? I'm pretty sure we're going.
We tend to go every year.
Even if it's like last minute stuff.
We haven't bought tickets to San Diego Comic-Con in a while. We tend to get them
We just sneak
handed
in.
to us or sneak in.
Of course, finding a place to stay is always the real issue.
Yeah.
That's always an adventure every year.
Yeah, we don't plan that either, though. We're terrible. We just wait.
We wait and then last minute figure it out, yeah.
We wait for our other friends to plan, get hotels for us, and then we sneak in and just find somewhere to crash.
Yeah. Thank you. That the new Attack on Titan Junior High is a very, very interesting show. It's all kinds of chaotic and very unique interpretation of the series.
Are you allowed to talk about it at all?
Yeah, they announced it. They announced the dubcast earlier this week, or end of last week, something like that. Recently, so it was announced recently.
Are you allowed to talk about what it's about? I mean, I guess people can watch it in the Japanese version, right?
About which one?
This storyline.
It's a simulcast, so no.
Oh, never mind then.
But it's silly.
Oh, that's right. It's a simulcast.
Yeah.
That's right.
Someone asked about Wizard World Chicago Comic-Con in August. I don't know. We'll see. We just started doing stuff with Wizard World, so we're hoping to maybe put something together cast-wise. We have a few things we're trying to work on as far as appearances and travel goes, so we'll get something going forward.
Yeah, it's hard to say until things get finalized. You don't want to say anything until things get finalized.
Yeah, we'll get their hopes up and things fall through.
Which happens a lot in this industry.
True.
A lot.
Do you want to get this dice out? You keep talking about this dice. I'm excited now.
Dice out. You guys remember when we plugged the Boonsy Arts candles, their Kickstarters, and how they were making the D&D candles? They are actually out. Like, I think she's shipping the rewards to the people what are those called? Funders?
Backers.
Backers.
That's the one.
Backers. So I think she's about to start shipping those. So if you haven't got your candles yet, you should soon. And I think they're going to be opening their store super, super soon.
Yeah. Which candle was this one? Someone was asking.
This one was Sorcerer's Lair, I believe.
A Sorcerer's Lair?
Sorcerer's Lair. But they come in like a set of 3.
Okay,
So-
we'll see if we can get the D20 out.
And they have D20 sitting inside.
We have people
Which is
requesting
pretty
Dagon too.
Dagon.
Wanna get Dagon out?
We'll get Dagon out in a second.
Yeah, we'll get the dice out
We'll
first.
get the dice out first, and then we'll get Dagon.
And someone's asking about Fallout 4. I voiced a character, one of the companions named McCready, who, for those of you who played Fallout 3, you'll remember him. He was the little boy mayor of Little Lamplight in 3, and now he's grown up. It's 10 years later. And you could find him somewhere in the game as your companion. And I also voice a couple other characters. One is like a resistance leader in the Institute. I don't really know where in the game that is, but you'll find me if you're playing through, hopefully. I hope so. Maybe.
It's a big world.
I know. It's crazy huge.
It's a big, destroyed fucking world.
We have been killed so many times.
Should keep running into cities that are way above our level, but
Let's have the fun of it. Wait, let's go ahead and get this dice out. So here's our little candle setup. So this is
I gotta
the
go like get some like chopsticks or something.
chopsticks to pull it out.
Or, like a spoon or something.
Let's see if we can side this candle. It's a little bright in here, but there is an actual D20 that is inside the candle that as you as it melts down, you get to remove it. Have I died as many times as Felicia did? Thankfully, no. I used armor. Marisha made a pretty good build. We actually made a female character and ended up looking kind of like Courtney
Courtney's
Taylor.
a boss.
Yep.
Okay, here you go, ready.
All right, here we go. Here's Marisha's journey into getting the
if I
D20
can.
out.
Chopstick D20.
It was like a metallic one.
Yeah, it's like a big metal one. It's from like the Dragon Forge people or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go. Well, bam.
That's awesome. Well, that's got like a hefty.
Yeah.
We roll.
Woo,
We
it's
roll.
warm. I think did I just roll 20?
No, you got a 14 and a 15 there.
There's a 15. 11.
Oh, so good.
19. That's pretty good.
It's rigged.
6.
All right, all right. We don't use all the luck on that
16.
one. Yeah, that is.
It's like nice and warm, and it smells like the candle now.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool. Oh, Dagon, what's up?
Yeah, it's like from the I forget the name of the company, but
Hey, Dagon.
so nice to a 20. Here, I'll get her out.
Is there a waterbending scroll and poster back there too?
Here's the sub D20 we got at Christmas, which has just been used. Matt and I throwing it at each other
Like that.
like that.
Hey, Dagon. Say hi to the internet.
Oh, I haven't get out. So she's out looking through bars like a sad puppy. I got sad puppy from Lady in the Tramp. Come here.
Doe.
Here's my sweetie pie. Alright, there we go.
There you go.
There's Dagon.
We'll come and sit down here. Hey, buddy. Nintendo fans, are you watching the Direct tomorrow? We,
Norse Foundry.
Oh, Norse Foundry's the...
Matt Abernathy just said. Which is correct, I'm pretty sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I don't know if we're doing the Direct thing tomorrow. We're in the morning, actually. We're going to the, which hospital is it? It's the...
Children's Hospital?
I'll have to look it up again. A bunch of us, people from Critical Role, are going over to Children's Hospital, who, this is one of the hospitals that was benefited through the whole Extra Life thing we did. So we're going to deliver gifts and say hi to a bunch of the kids and stuff tomorrow morning. So that's going to be a good portion of our day leading into tomorrow's episode. So Google there. There we go.
Also, for anyone who didn't see up close,
Oh, yeah,
here's him a pillow. Got
This is-
equipment.
awesome,
that
awesome
each of us
keyless
got.
pillow.
Oh, it's so cute. I love it so much. I don't know if we're recording any of that trip or not, simply because I think it's
not allowed to take pictures inside.
Yeah, it's a little strange to go into and film a lot of sick kids like that. So I think they're being a little we
might try and get some
private
outside.
about that. Maybe some pictures and things. Well, but yeah, I think just
some outside
to
the
respect the
hospital
kids'
and stuff,
privacy.
but
I don't know if we're doing too much on that.
yeah, it always gets weird when you start exposing children on the internet.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Nope. And Dagon's wandering, trying to attack my feet. It's a problem. Yeah, guys, thank you all so much who tuned in for the extra live streams and donated and helped make it as
826.
awesome as it was. All you guys who donated 826. Yeah. It's incredible the difference you guys have continuously made through all that. And the 826 is now developing their own D&D program for the kids and everything is really, really cool. Let's see what else is going on. First and foremost, I'll see if I can remember who it was that did. But whoever sent me the Encyclopedia Magica books for Christmas,
you should show those
I'm
off.
so happy about that. Those books.
Show them off.
Will you want to hold this?
I will.
It's been up on my knee. You can get this one.
There you go.
Oh,
Camera's here. I'm filming you. Yeah.
It's nice and awkward. So the Encyclopedia Magica books, these things you saw me open on the stream. I posted a picture from one of them. These were the all old school AD&D 2nd edition collective tomes of magical items. And when I say collective tomes, there are 4 books of very, very fine paper with extremely detailed outlines on all sorts of magical items with their XP value. Because some classes gain experience points from destroying magical items. What their gold worth is, what their specific abilities were. Charts that you could roll at the top of each type of item section to see what it randomized to. I mean, these are all great series of books, and at the very least, it's a great nostalgia trip for me. So, such things as like apparently this picture of a knight getting his head turned into a monkey. The art was still kind of evolving then.
People are saying I'm blocking the mic, but there's no way. I'm not.
I think you might be.
How? I'm not holding it.
Play a platter too.
Dagon. How did this go? There we go.
Dagon? You were such a little shit. There we go. All right,
there you go.
Yeah, so they have it's 4 huge books filled with nothing but crazy-ass magical items from all the history of D&D and Dragon Magazine, Dungeon Magazine, and all the various tomes and stuff up until when these books were published. And so, I don't have the name of any person in front of me, whoever you are, thank you so much. These are amazing. I've been spending way too much time reminiscing since we got them.
So wait, are they broken down into like categories? Or are they just a bunch of fucking magic items?
No, volume 1 through 4, it's all through alphabetical.
Ooh, where do they go?
Artifact tables and stuff. Starts with amulets, so it's A through Z. Dagon!
Dagon, you little pooper.
Come on.
Get her.
Come on. She likes this snack more than anything. But yes. So then, just chilling here for a little bit with you guys. If you had any questions, wanted to chat and just catch up a bit, you don't get a chance to really be too interactive one-on-one for the actual stream due to both the volume and just the nature of the gameplay stuff. So we're trying to do this a little more often to actually have some back and forth with you guys and answer some questions. So get that going. You get to see us in very leisurely, non-put-together, grotesque states like this, in which I need a shower and look terrible. So I apologize. So, any questions popping up?
Someone asked if you can use the items from the encyclopedia, but I might have been covering the... Oh, God!
You want me to hold the iPad?
Covering the mic. No, this just isn't the best system.
Let's switch to the phone.
Hang on. I might have been covering the mic when...
How about we just do the double?
Okay.
This isn't working.
There we go.
Oh, bugs.
Here, you hold it.
I'll hold it right There on my knee.
That's better.
All right.
It's so close.
I know the front camera's a little...
It's on your face. It feels like when people take headshots and you're like, oh.
It's okay. We're just not putting together. Adult beverage of choice, Marisha?
I guess whiskey. Bourbon.
Whiskey. Bourbon?
I'm from Kentucky, yo.
It's true. Oh, hello from Costa Rica, guys. Hey! What would we say has been our favorite arc on Critical Role so far? What's your favorite arc?
During the showtime?
Mm-hmm. What you think?
Probably the one we're in right now.
The Briarwoods?
The Whitestone arc, yeah.
It's an interesting one. I'm really digging this one too, actually. I really enjoyed the whole Kavarn arc, partially because I hadn't really been able to DM a decent Underdark based adventure before. So that was my first time kind of really taking a party through the Underdark extensively. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I think Whitestone so far is starting to creep up there as one of my favorites too. We shall see.
It's so spooky. I like that it's spooky.
I haven't had a chance to have a GM to DM combo with Chris Perkins yet. We've chatted on Twitter, and then we swapped phone numbers. And actually, I think he's going to be out in LA in December, and we might get drinks. But yeah, I'm a big fan of his work and everything he's done with the game. So hoping to have the opportunity to sit with him in a little bit down the road and just get some drinks, chat, and swap DM notes would be fantastic. So hoping that works out.
Liam's finally sitting down to play Fallout.
Liam's finally sitting down to play Fallout.
I'm so happy.
Good man. He's earned it.
He has.
He made me scream all day today.
I had to
an angry
retweet
thing.
that we were doing this just in case, because I hadn't done it yet.
Mm.
Yeah, you were screaming with him today in the booth. That's fun.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah. And Darren DePaul was with him yesterday, screaming in booths.
Yep. Can't say what for.
Nope.
But it's a good time.
But it's fun screaming in booths.
That it is.
Ripping your voice out.
Would you all let some of your players guest DM? I mean, for like a one-off on the side, maybe, it would be too hard to relinquish the reins for this world for the players, since they don't really know all the details and all the crazy stuff going on. And if they did, then it would kind of defeat the purpose of them being a player and keeping it all a mystery. So if anyone wanted to step up for like a one-off game for a charity thing sometime, that's up to them. I know the players enjoy being players, so.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's fun.
Just doing a DM, it's a lot. Seems like it's like starting a sport.
Yeah. Feel free to hop in any of these questions, by the way. Pop up. Also, someone mentioned that they wanted advice on how to make encounters interesting as a DM. I would say, considering creatures that have interesting abilities and could be a good challenge to the players is one thing. Also, consider, battlefields and landscapes where it can occur that are also interesting themselves. Think of differences in height and variety. Think of dangers to the terrain. Think of ways to incorporate the battle, not just being us versus monsters, but also you versus the terrain, or even can use it to your advantage. Allowing little things, like I had a battle once that was on a series of platforms over a giant kind of sewer system, and the players were destroying these large kind of copper pipes that were above and using them to create bridges going across, but also use them to destroy and swing them to knock things off the platforms. So it's like, set up.
Dope.
That was pretty cool.
I was pretty proud.
That was the Hardwick game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Props to Chris Hardwick for magic missiling copper tubes off the
What's
ceiling.
on the roof? Copper pipes. Awesome.
Yep, and start shooting them down.
Pew, 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 pew.
But yeah, so consider ways to use the environment to your advantage, to leave little cool elements of the environment that the players might be creative and use, like, loose boulders, a fragile portion of the environment. In boss encounters, you can think of, magical artifacts that might actually influence the battle, good or bad, depending on how they're used. And, I mean, that's the best advice I can give you. Other than that, players' ingenuity usually drives the chaos there, so that's that scenario.
People are smart.
It's true.
Any advice for inspiring voice actors? honestly, we tend to not answer that question too much anymore, just because there's so much information out there that you can go find and look it up. There's a great book that Yuri Lowenthal wrote, actually, who we all know and love, and Tara Platt, his wife, called Voiceover Voice Actor. It's got everything you need. There's a great blog site. Wait, who is it that does what does it, D. Bradley Baker?
D. Baker has a great website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It has a wonderful breakdown.
So, like, we're not going to, repeat information. Just go look it up. It'll be good.
Yeah. Primarily training as an actor is the big thing.
Train as an actor.
But beyond... It's
all the same thing.
Yeah. Beyond that, those websites have great resources to them. And that book is phenomenal, too, from Yuri and Tara.
Yes. But yes.
So when I DM, sometimes my inner player creeps out and I want to lead the group. Any advice? Fight the urge. Keep in mind, while it is kind of... It's an instinct to kind of push the players. Sometimes it's a lot more fun to just sit back quietly and let them figure out what the heck they're doing. Let them argue amongst themselves. Let them get lost. Let them take the wrong path sometimes and find their own chaos. It can be a little more stressful for you to come up with stuff on the spot if need be, but that's just something that comes with the time and experience. The fact that you can acknowledge it is good. So just when you get that feeling next time, just step back, watch, observe, answer questions. Run the story reactively, reflexively, as opposed to proactively, and that's a big element of that, I guess. Trying to think. There's another question from earlier. I was trying to remember. Adult beverage. Adult beverage of choice.
That.
Right, I didn't answer that though.
Okay, go for
I
it.
forgot about that one. You're welcome. Yes. I'd say rum, just as a general base. I don't drink a lot. Even when I do it socially, and usually just like one drink. So I would go Long Island iced tea. If I want just like one drink for the night, that'll work. That'll do it. Just put them all in there. Why choose?
How long does it take to get to the Geek and Sundry studio? That's an interesting question.
For us, it takes about 25 minutes-ish. 25 minutes, depending on traffic.
25 minutes.
From our place, yeah.
It's oddly specific. What are you plotting? I don't trust you.
Who is this?
Someone's gonna do weird math, figure out the radius in which we live in.
I'd be impressed. I'm gonna be angry. I'd be like, good on you. You earned this. Favorite anime?
I actually really like Claymore. It doesn't get recognized a lot. I love that anime.
Claymore is good.
Giant, badass, sword-wielding mutant chicks killing monsters.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
I feel bad answering this question because I'm in it. But Fate Zero, the prequel to Fate Stay Night, is still, I think, one of the best. Just beautiful animation, beautiful music, great dark story, really elaborate, morally ambiguous and intricate characters. Yeah, Fate Zero was pretty good. Should do a Freaky Friday thing with exchanging characters. Is that coffee?
It is.
Dagon.
Dagon, you're the worst.
Dagon keeps scattering off and wandering onto the table and
Come here.
getting into stuff.
Come here.
There we go. If you want to watch our Periscope videos later, do you mind? So I'm putting up on YouTube?
No, I guess not. I'm not gonna have time to do it, so go for it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem. I mean, if people want to watch us,
Awkwardly
sitting here, chilling here with you guys, looking like this mess, then sure. I don't see why not. Isn't that right, Dagon? Isn't that right?
She likes hanging upside down.
She does. She's a silly bird.
Conjures like hanging upside down. Boy.
This has been a long day, so we're kind of low energy chilling right now. So I appreciate you guys being patient with us.
I was like sleeping a little right before we started periscoping, so I was like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
I could do midweek. I still have to finish maps and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Is there a request on the Critical Role subreddit? Oh yeah, well, go ahead and pass that along.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Totally.
Still trying to reconnect. No, return. return to us. Why Dagon?
I think we talked about this before, right?
The last periscope.
In the last one. Long story short, because the longer version's on the last one, she's named after the H.P. Lovecraft's old god, Dagon, as well as the Elder Scrolls demon Mehrunes Dagon and the
ancient Mesopotamian
god, yeah. But mainly H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. Oh, is Mikey in here?
Mikey!
Is Mikey in here? Hi, Mikey, if you're in
Mikey.
there, hello. Someone mentioned his name.
Maybe. He could do
So
it.
earlier that you played D&D Muds. Did you do World of Darkness at all? I didn't play World of Darkness Muds, but I played World of Darkness games. I played a little bit of Hunt of the Reckoning. Played some Mage the Ascension.
It is Mikey.
Oh, snap! It is Mikey!
Hey,
Hi,
Mikey.
Obsidian!
Obsidian gave us permission to use all the Pillars of Eternity music. So a lot of the music you guys hear on the stream is from Pillars of Eternity. So you guys should check it out.
Show them some love. Go follow Obsidian on
show
Twitter
'em
if you
some
don't
love.
already. Yeah, they do a lot of good games.
And go play Pillars of Eternity because you're in it.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Sam and Liam and a few other
Sam,
people.
Liam, and I wanted to be a dragon in that game.
Yeah.
Maybe when the expansion.
Maybe one day. Maybe. Someone just asked if we play Magic the Gathering.
Yes, we do.
What deck have you got?
I've been rocking a blue-green deck. Or no. I've been rocking just a straight green deck.
Straight green deck for a while now. Yeah.
Straight green deck. I used to rock a straight white, like, flying deck for a while, which was cool. Planeswalker back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been rocking a green deck, which is cool.
I have a white-black bolster-based deck that's pretty nasty. Just look it over.
Oh, you say you liked my dragon. Oh, thanks, Mikey. We are both also in the Armored Warfare, too.
That's true.
Which is Obsidian again.
Yeah. Any bands you
good.
listen to? Favorite bands?
Favorite bands? Well, you should go listen to my... Dagon,
God.
stop! Not too hard with the nibbles. Too hard with the nibbles. You should go listen to my playlist tomorrow, because it has some of my favorite bands on there. But favorite bands that aren't on there, because I don't want to give any spoilers, in case you haven't listened to it. What's some favorite bands? We love Pink Floyd. We love Dresden Dolls.
Yes, Amanda Palmer.
I love me some Lorde. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's great.
She's pretty phenomenal.
She's phenomenal. Let's see.
I mean, I grew up heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like picking your favorite food.
Yeah, Flaming Lips, Typo Negative, Mr. Bungle, pretty much anything Mike Patton, Radiohead,
Passion Pit.
Thunderbolt Pilots,
Or some of like the oldies.
Nine Inch Nails. And yeah, old stuff. We're talking,
Fleetwood Mac.
Grateful Dead, Moody Blues, Beatles. I mean, it goes on forever.
The Doors. I love the Doors. There's actually a really great Doors song that I wanted to put on my playlist, and I got screwed over by Spotify.
Oh.
Curse you, Spotify!
And to answer your question, there may be a Mercer constructed playlist, the actual content of which shall be revealed when it happens. But I am working on something.
It's true.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah. And then we might, because, like, we were super sad that we were only going to be able to get 10 songs on our playlist, like 10 to 12 songs, which they almost let us only have 8 songs. And I was like, no, that's just not even fair. You have to at least let us pick 10 songs.
Yeah.
I know, baby girl. I know. I know. So much attention that's not on you.
I know I said Fireside Chat in the thing, and it's because we actually have, like, a fireplace. So it's by our side, technically.
All the Critical Role gifts.
Yeah, you critters kind of,
Christmas gifts.
that cardboard box over there, we've been organizing all the presents, so you guys did that. Any chance we come to a con in South Africa? I mean, I'd love the opportunity to visit South Africa. I have quite a few friends that come from there, actually, and it depends on if conventions have to invite us out. So if there's any cons near you, that you think would be interested and would fit our nerdy gaming MO, contact them and tell them you'd like to see Critical Role can be a guest.
What do you want in life? Where are you going?
Dagon is just going nuts.
No, you can't have the food. Not everything is for you in life. You have your own food. Damn it.
Birds are amazing most of the time.
She's the most A-personality person.
Dagon misses you too, Mikey. What does Vin Diesel smell like? Smell good, if I recall. It's like a nice cologne. I'll give him a hug when we got it there.
I don't think it was cognitive that.
I was. Everything was slow motion. I was just taking it at any moment. I was just like, yeah, hello. I tried to take it in. It smelled very good and was a seriously deep cut nerd. I was worried. You know when you meet people that are kind of that big in Hollywood and are so world renowned, you're kind of scared if they're true to that character you had.
Dagon! You can't. That's my finger. Okay, I'll give you scratches. She wants me to scratch her head, so her way of getting attention is to nibble. Hey, baby.
She's being roughhousey now.
Are you trying to roughhouse? You trying to roughhouse? She likes roughhousing. Go roughhouse. Go roughhouse. Yeah. Roll over. Yeah. Grr. 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 Yeah.
I don't know.
Trying to be aggressive.
I don't know the birds did this before I got a bird.
She loves it. Hoya, choo, hi, grr. Had to itch real quick. Grr.
Biggest challenge of owning a bird? Being a voice actor and having to audition from home while owning a bird. Because birds like to talk when you talk. So auditioning is ever a challenge. But to finish what I was saying real fast, yeah, Vin Diesel was absolutely a gentleman and fun and positive and turned into an 8-year-old when he rolled his criticals. But after the game, I got into a conversation about his old D&D character named Melkor, which actually Calder, the Last Witch Hunter, is based on. And I mentioned, to him, Melkor, is that from Silmarillion, from Tolkien. And he said, yeah, Melkor was my favorite Valar, the Valar that created the world of Middle Earth, and they all sang the Song of Creation together, and Melkor was the one that, to do the voice properly, Melkor wanted to sing his own song, and because he wanted to create it on his own, he was the outlier, and the rest of the Valar shunned him and kicked him out, and as such, he became Morgoth, which, the patron to Sauron, and I sat there and just loved the fact that he was that deep-cut nerd about the Silmarillion, which is pretty deep-cut nerd anyway, so.
And he has a Melkor tattoo?
He has Melkor tattooed on him, yeah, it's the actual D&D character's name, so.
It's pretty dope.
So he's legit.
Yeah. Someone had a good question that was, how do I get my other female friends, how do I convince them to play D&D? There's this really unfortunate thing that started happening in like the 80s and the 90s especially, where if you go back and look at the early advertisements for Nintendo, it was advertised gender neutrally to females and males, and they had girls sitting there playing Mario and boys sitting there playing Mario. And then, the 80s marketing boom kind of started hitting, and they realized that if they marketed video games to boys and, other things to girls, that they could make more money. And then that's when they kind of started coming out with, remember, the Barbie games and stuff like that, which is, fine. I'm not, shitting on, little girl-driven or female-driven content, but I think it's kind of a sad misconception that's kind of unfortunately been perpetualized, that there's certain, that most gaming is for a male audience, and that's just simply not true. So I think if you just explain to her, it's no different, playing D&D is no different than sitting around and wanting to play Scrabble, or a game of life with friends. You're not like, oh, well, I'm just the Scrabble community just doesn't seem very accepting to females. Like no one does that. It's not that kind of way. So I think if you just kind of explain to them that it's not jumping into D&D is not like jumping into Call of Duty on Xbox Live. It's totally different, and I think if you can like explain that it's not, because I think when people think of it in that way, they think of it in that equal type of intimidation. And really, I think for brand new gamers, I think D&D actually has an easier entry point than, say, like Magic the Gathering has, almost, because you have a DM that can sit there and help you, and the cooperative element to it,
That's true, yeah.
isn't as intimidating as if you're like blindly handed a Magic deck and you've never, the extent of your gaming is only casual, you've never even considered a battle type structure, or like being handed a Magic the Gathering deck can be intimidating. So I think D&D actually has an easier entry point, in my opinion. So I think just telling them that it's just communal storytelling. It's no different than, sitting around and wanting to make a story out of a game of Clue. You can do the same thing with a game of Clue if you really wanted to. You can build a story out of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the great things about games, is that they give you opportunities to build stories.
Yeah.
So, but it's not. Just explain to them that it's not a gender-driven thing at all.
Good on you, Eric. Keep pushing. I know.
Sorry, that was a long rant, but
It's
it's
okay.
hard to answer that question in a few sentences.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Eric, I totally understand, dude, and it's a process. But once you cross that bridge and you get the right people in the right gaming group, it's a lot of fun, and it's actually. Yeah, role-playing games helped me kind of be more social growing up. When I was younger, I was definitely kind of the awkward, quiet kid who helped people with their homework and then sat by himself. And I think role-playing games helped me kind of expand my social skills and be more comfortable in those environments. So it can be great.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of more people doing D&D, like family D&D, is like for a family game night, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be Life or Monopoly. It can be D&D.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's true. Someone asked, how do I stop metagaming? You try and just encourage it not to happen. It's not a big deal if it does happen. You just, they gone.
Stop. Not the cheese.
Our bird's being a little crazy. Yeah, just encouraging players not to. It does happen, and it's fine if it's small and it's unintentional. A lot of players don't realize they're doing it when they're doing it. And in some cases, the DM might be wrong and think they are when they're not. Like last game, which I totally made a bad call, Marisha, and I apologize about that. But, it's... You try and encourage it not to happen. And if players are doing it, you just remind them, like, you probably wouldn't know that information. And they just go, okay, no worries. And the sign of a good role player is someone that rolls with the punches and lets that, happen organically, as opposed to fighting you on that. Someone earlier did ask, how does Scanlan know Big B's hand? Big B's hand is a wizard spell, but he is bards in general in 5th edition, especially bards of the College of Lore, which is one of their paths they can take. They can learn spells from any class, so he chose that spell as one of his kind of any class spell choices as he was leveling up. So that's how I figured that out. So there. Now you know. Any negative experiences of being in the limelight that has stuck with you?
Just in general, or over the course of this show?
I think it's more general.
Oh, then yeah.
you encounter them.
mean, it's... Yeah, I imagine it's the same for every career.
Yeah.
There's always everything must have balance.
Yeah.
There's always perks, and then there's always the downside to all of those things. So, I mean, a few years ago, before the, horrid G word that shall not be named on the internet, I was, targeted and harassed and stuff for being a female on the internet, you know, so there's always that element to it. But
yeah, and there are aspects, you know, when your job or your work or something you do puts you in a public space, as our jobs do sometimes, now more so with this show, you know, people around you change. Some people don't deal so well with it. Some people who...
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle. You know, some people just they take it in differently, and they become different than the people you once knew. And you have to be careful of those people in this industry. A lot of them will try and take stuff out from under you. And you know, I'm definitely a trusting person to a fault, and I'm trying to be better about that. But I prefer to trust first and be burned than to not trust and miss opportunities to really connect with people. So. But yeah, the industry is fraught with a lot of difficulty. You just try and keep it as positive as possible, and you know, seek out the good people in your experience and hold on to them, and you know, try and avoid the negativity.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Like Kyle said, unfortunately, it's a sad aspect of capitalism in general. You know, you're going to see that in every industry. There's this horrible misconception, I think, that like Hollywood and the entertainment industry is filled with like horrible, ingenuine, skeezy scumbags who just want to take advantage of you, and you have no real friends, and that's not true at all, because
I mean, they're out there.
They're out there.
They're definitely out there.
You're going to see the same thing in any other industry. There's going to be people who just want to, like, ride your coattails and ride the ladder, and you just have to understand that and not let those people hold you back.
Yeah. Is
really the thing. But that's, I mean... You literally can say that about almost any industry. That there will be people who want to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So it's not... It's the same thing why people... it drives me crazy when people go, oh, Los Angeles, and there are a bunch of crazy people over there, and there are a bunch of crime. And I'm like, no, there's assholes everywhere. There's crime everywhere. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's just like everywhere else.
Yeah. And thank you, Ben. I prefer Gabdolf over Gandalf anyway. So I think you had it right the first time.
Yeah.
Someone asked balancing...
ironic sirens are ironic. Yeah.
Yeah, timing is everything, I guess. Everything. Someone asked about balancing power players, power gamers, and actor role players, and a combat-heavy system. It's not easy. A lot of that is conversation you have with the players before the game or outside of the game. Just, you know, being really clear with the kind of atmosphere you want to promote and the type of storytelling you want to do. If it's a very heavy combat-based game where, you know, it's hard to not spend an entire session in battle, then you don't have to use the full system. You can streamline elements of it. There are details you can fine-tune or customize. It comes a little more with experience, or you can look online and see other people probably doing the same. Every system out there has been tweaked and changed and homebrewed out the wazoo, like, especially if they've been around for a long time, so don't be afraid to research that. But having a conversation with the players, and there's nothing wrong with power gaming as long as it doesn't interfere with anybody else's good time, and that's just something that a lot of people don't realize they're doing. And you'll find occasionally have those assholes like, no, this is my game, I'll play how I want to play, and that's fine. Maybe they don't belong in your game, and they can find a group that is into that tone. But you know, for the most part, everyone I've ever gamed with who had that type of a play set or an inclination, as soon as I just talked to them about it, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries, and they'd scale it back a bit, or you know, they'd all kind of meet in the middle, because you're all trying to have a good adventure together and still get what you want out of that game. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get the best feats and the best abilities and kill things as fast as possible. As long as you also can enjoy and get involved in other aspects of the game as well. In my opinion. And it is just my opinion.
We're not going to have a game on Thanksgiving Thursday, are we?
No. Holidays. Thanksgiving Thursday and Christmas Eve Thursday are not going to have Critical Role, because we have to do things with people and relax.
But people with children.
Yeah. What are we thinking of y'all?
Yeah. Of course. Man, there were a lot of questions that flew by. I tried to remember some of them, and now I don't remember any of them.
That's
and
okay.
Someone, oh man, alignments, yeah, someone asked everyone's alignments. Most of us are good or neutral.
Yeah.
One's evil. I'm neutral good.
Yeah, neutral good.
Keyleth's neutral good. But I think like Grog is just straight neutral.
Grog is chaotic neutral, I'm pretty sure.
Is he
I'm
chaotic
pretty
neutral?
sure he's chaotic neutral. He's the
Wait.
definition of chaotic neutral.
Wasn't Percy chaotic good? Or was he also chaotic neutral? I don't know. I don't remember.
Percy's walking a curious path right now. We'll see where that goes.
It's hard.
He's walking some lines in the moral spectrum.
Does Marisha peek at any match prep work for Critical Role?
Hell
Fuck no. Who do you think we are?
When she comes upstairs, I'll like cover the screen on the computer.
I'd be dead by now. Body would be at the bottom of fucking LA River, which isn't saying much.
Thank you, Kyle. Good to know. I played one game in like the past 3 years as a player of D&D at least. I did play as a player a little bit in a game of Diaspora, which is kind of like a futuristic sci-fi game. And Philip Eisner, the guy who wrote Event Horizon, was GMing, and that was a lot of fun. I only played a few times, though, because I got busy. Dagon, be nice. We have guests.
Say pretty words.
Almost 600 guests right now.
say pretty words.
Ite on Ashley's return.
December?
Well, she'll be back for December for a little bit of holidays, but for those who they got picked up for the second half of the first season of Blind Spot, so she'll be there until March shooting. And then they got picked up for season 2, which I'm really excited about and really sad about. Like, it's one of those, all of us were like, yay! So really happy for
Drama
her.
mask.
Yeah, no.
People are asking about what do you do if a player starts drifting alignment, which that's natural. That can happen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you aren't stuck to a player's alignment. You choose a character archetype and you think of an alignment that fits that. Older editions, you had to stick to certain ones to get abilities, but if you just make actions that counteract or are contradictive to that alignment, then the DM over time, not like the first time you do it, unless it's something super evil, but over time, if you keep doing actions that are outside of your alignment will shift, and that's that. You can bring it back if you repent or try and make up for those circumstances, but it happens. It's natural. I've had many campaigns where alignments drifted. I ran a Ravenloft game where everyone started good, and by the end of it, people were shifting neutral to neutral evil, and that's part of the arc. That's the way they played it. So it was pretty fun. Yeah, and the only real impact it has is with some divine-based players, if their alignment drifts away from what their deity wants, that may cause some problems with them actually using their abilities and pulling their magic. And some magical items are involved, and some spells are involved in affecting certain alignments. So that can actually have an impact. Let's see. Want to pick a question? In about 5 more minutes or so, we're going to play some more Fallout. I'm going to work on maps. So we'll get a few more questions here.
Man, just a lot. I'm trying to find.
You rock?
I don't know.
Other systems I've played. I've played GURPS. I've played Rifts. I've played pretty much a lot of Palladium universes. I've played Hunter of the Reckoning. I've played World Darkness, Deadlands, a lot of the Savage Worlds. I've played Diaspora. I've played Traveler, Exalted, D&D 2nd Edition, 3.0, 3.5, 4th Edition, 5th Edition. Oh man, the old Ninja Turtles. I played Marvel Superheroes. Paranoia. Man, Call of Cthulhu. I've run Call of Cthulhu and played it. Wow, I didn't go out much. Gamma World. Played Gamma World. Older and the newer edition, which is kind of based off 4th edition. I like the older edition better.
There's a lot of funny questions that can't comment on.
Really?
Oh, just letting you guys know. There are certain questions that we just can't answer because it's going to be spoilers later.
True.
So you just have to let it go.
Nah, fair enough.
I love all the stuff that people ask about shipping in relationships in the game, but I will enjoy everything as it comes in and chuckle at the speculation and not say a damn thing.
Oh, Dagon laughed with you.
Nah, I know Dagon, I know.
That was amazing.
Mwahaha. She's my familiar for a reason.
Trinkleth? Oh, there we go.
Trinkleth, oh hell yeah. One spell that I wish Keyleth had.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. What do you think?
They're like, oh man. Counterspell would be nice.
There you
It
go.
always seems handy. That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Black Powder Merchant may come back if they find their way to Vasselheim again, or he somehow finds his way out in the world. God forbid.
Power word kill.
Power word kill. I don't know if that's quite your MO.
My flair.
Keyleth.
Yeah.
Someone did ask, how has Keyleth changed since the game started? I thought that was kind of a cool question.
She's changed a lot, because, like, you gotta remember, this is like Keyleth's Rumspringa. So she left, she was very sheltered and protected because she kind of, like, their last headmaster didn't come back. So they were like, well, we're laying all of our cards on her. And then they sent her out into the world, and it was the first time that she has really seen a lot of the world. And
Power word chill. I like that.
power chill. But yeah, so she kind of started with this, like, kind of naive understanding of the world, and her slowly as things happen, she kind of goes back and forth between her faith in humanity being shaken and also having to try and realize that things aren't as black and white as they always seem, and she's loyal to a fault almost to Vox Machina, and it's justifying a lot of things that she's not really comfortable with because she's hoping that the ends will justify the means. So
Yeah, her arc right now, especially this past like 8 or so episodes, Keyleth's. I've been watching her kind of her moral compass continuously shatter and try and right itself, and Dagon wants attention. Like from a DM standpoint, it's been really cool to watch that dynamic happen and how she feels so intent about a specific moral path and choice, but yet is also coming in terms of the fact that sometimes good things require bad things to happen, and the ends justify the means in some circumstances. But even she's like dealing with that reality.
yeah,
It's really cool.
like it's interesting when people give us criticism on our characters, because people have to understand that we've been with these characters for way longer than the show has. So we have things definitely going on deep down inside of our heads. So, yeah.
Man, it's cool that everyone's passionate about it. People are like, I would have done that. But it's like,
I love that they're
that's
passionate.
great.
I just love... I'm talking about the people who are like, Keyleth wouldn't have done that. Vax wouldn't have done that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that is kind of make me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
There will be a respectful and story-tailored exit for Tiberius when this arc is done, probably, and the players return, whichever one of them to return. So that has been considered, and I've been working on that. So don't worry. All right, we got time for a couple more questions, and then we're probably gonna head off here, guys.
Thanks.
Back in your playlist.
Thanks. Yeah, they went ahead and put it up on the Spotify, but my write-up will be out tomorrow. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we also each picked out a lot of our favorite fan art that kind of encompasses the general mood and feeling of our playlist as well. So if you haven't checked out the write-ups on the site, and seen the fan art and stuff, there's little fan art galleries that go with them too that kind of help set the mood. A little bit of art, a little bit of music. Those were super fun to do, by the way. And yeah, definitely go stop, Dagon, attacking my foot.
Birds.
She's eating my foot. Yes, go. Please, I implore you to go to Geek and Sundry and look at any of the bonus content if you haven't, because that's the stuff that's most important in terms of the numbers that Geek and Sundry looks at and Legendary Digital looks at. So if they can see that people are looking at stuff on the Geek and Sundry site and that it's building enough traffic, then they will go and give us maybe budget to do more stuff. And speaking of that, everyone should watch tomorrow because we might have a fun announcement about something new.
Oh, snap.
Then we're gonna announce live on the show. But yes, it definitely it helps if you go look at the bonus content, because that means they go, okay, you're right. People do want more content.
Yeah.
We'll give you money for more content.
Someone asked, favorite Wormhole Hordes faction and why?
Crix, because crazy badass undead
There you go.
pirate hordes.
Protectorate of Menoth for me, because the lawgiver must be worshipped and all heathens must be burned. Let's see.
Stop,
Let's see if we can
Dagon.
get through a few quick ones here before we gotta go. Favorite possible actor for The Witcher? I hope it's good. I really do. I've been.
So much
I know.
more
Take almost all the
attention.
attention.
No.
I would say. I wouldn't mind like Viggo Mortensen. Maybe I have to go back and reconsider that again. I haven't put a lot of thought to it, but I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I don't know if I'd pull off a good Geralt, guys. I appreciate that. I'd want someone a little more rugged. I think stoic. I think I'm a little too silly for Geralt. Not Channing Tatum. Damn it. Let's see. There's another good question I saw in there too. I'm trying to remember. Two more.
Dang on.
Why does Michelle look so blazed? No.
I have a bird in my face.
No, we're just pretty tired. It's been a long week. Excited for tomorrow. Very excited. Excited to go to the hospital and meet all the kids and bring those gifts over. That's going to be a lot of fun. And excited for the game. Oh, someone did ask about if having a week between sessions changes my preparation. I mean, not more than any game would. You know, most D&D games are, weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly.
What?
Monthly, whatever the case may be. I mean,
Because?
their actions change the world, and there are reactions based on the choices they make. So, yeah, I mean, things change every week. I can't plan everything as a thorough line. It's a very amorphous process, which is part of the fun for me. So, and someone asked earlier about Cassandra being alive. How long did it take me to come to that choice? I knew from the beginning of the campaign, actually, when Towson gave me his character backstory for Percy. I was like, oh, his sister's still alive. That's a thing. It just took 3 years for us to get to that part, so I'm excited about that. Want to go one more question?
Is it Thursday yet? No.
You got about a little over 2.5 hours. It'll be Thursday. Although it might be Thursday for you guys. For us, it'll be Thursday then.
Yes.
Good night,
Soon.
Houston.
It's just not Thursday on the East Coast, I guess.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes into Thursday on the East Coast.
Do I have an imagined input to the campaign? Yeah. There are things in the world brewing. There are subplots, and there are things going on far outside of the current realm and scope of their understanding that may or may not eventually lead to adventures down the road. We shall see. At the very least, this campaign could go on for a good another year and a half. Get you guys all max level, epic level content, and then eventually to a heroic, fade into the sun, and then we probably start a new campaign from there. So that's what I know. Yuri on Critical Role? Yes, we have definitely. We've talked about that when we have a long list of people that want to guest on it, which is weird to me. I've never thought I'd ever say that. It's crazy.
We almost had to call him in for an emergency session, and he was like, "Is this it? Is this the call I've been waiting for?"
Yeah, because he played with us once before we did the stream.
Yes.
He had a dwarf monk.
He has a character in
Ghost
canon.
Fist.
Yes.
So don't be surprised if Yuri pops back on as a guest in the future.
Ghost Fist. I miss Ghost Fist.
That's
He
just
was
fun.
great. Oh, look, I'm lucky to have you by my side.
I'm the lucky one.
It's true.
She has to put up with this every day.
It's true.
Mm.
It's a Boyd. You
That is a bird.
bad.
All right, one more question for you, and then we'll take off.
Are we gonna kill the Briarwoods? I don't know if I personally will kill the Briarwoods, but I'm sure one of us will kill the Briarwoods.
We'll see.
At least, hopefully, we kill them before they kill us.
We'll see.
I'm nervous about tomorrow.
Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Our kind of low energy Wednesday evening selves, but good questions, guys. You're all fantastic, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night soon. So, love you all. Just travel safe wherever you're going. Sleep well and enjoy Fallout. Have a good night, guys.
Dagon.
Bye, Dagon.
Say bye-bye, boys.
Come on, Dagon. Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Where's Dagon?
Say, oh God.
There she is.
There she is.
Bye, Dagon.
Go.
Camera. Oh, gotta turn it off. You're really bad.